Good evening and welcome to the Action News 5 Digital Desk Nightside. I'm meteorologist Ron Childers along with my sidekick Lydian Coombs. She's the orchestrator of all these things digital. You'll find Lydian's work on all of our digital platforms. That's on Facebook, on our website, on our TikTok, Insta, all those places. And tonight you'll find us both on the Action News 5 app on Apple TV, on Amazon Fire, and on Roku. If you don't have that, I encourage you to download it. You'll find it in the app stores there. Also, you can watch us on YouTube, and we've got our friends on Facebook following along as well. So we are live tonight. Here we are just after 8 o'clock. What a day.
What a day.
Yeah, what a day. We've got a very volatile atmosphere that's in place around the Mid-South. Did storms wake you up last night?
No, but I definitely heard them.
Yeah, it got a little loud. And as a matter of fact, right around 1:26, tornado warning was issued for a portion of Lafayette and Marshall County. Fortunately, it was just a radar-indicated tornado, but that woke everybody up right there.
I bet.
Fortunately, it was just a little wind and rain, no confirmed tornado. But I tell you what came through Memphis yesterday, Lydian, 2.5 inches of rain. As a matter of fact, it was 2.56 inches of rain at Memphis International Airport. And we had more than 2 inches of rain. Yeah. And there was flooding as a result of it. Don't you have some flooding? Did you have some flooding stories?
No, not, or we did have a story today. T. Wood covered some
he was
power
out in
outages.
Fraser.
He got this footage of the flooding on some street. I'm not sure what that is, but definitely some neighborhoods at least saw some flooding.
Yeah, it created power outages. There was a lot of problems. So most of the day today was rather tranquil. Now, we did see a few downpours that came through the Memphis metro, and there was a pretty good little thunderstorm that rolled through Haywood County right around Brownsville, but fortunately it wasn't severe. But I tell you what, the start to the week is going to be something else, because we're going to deal with this through the middle of the week and likely into early Thursday. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and give you your first alert. I want to show you this lovely shot from our Best Care Home Services camera. This is live right now as we look to the west, Union Avenue there, right around the middle of your screen. Little blue sky, got a few clouds out there. But overall, it is a lovely evening around the Mid-South. Let's recap our day. We hit a high of 84, 79 is the average. So we were 5 degrees above that. 66 the morning low, the average 59. So we weren't far from the mark today with the high and the low. 9/100 of an inch of rain, and that was the rain that fell in Memphis right around or shortly after midnight. But I tell you what, it came down in parts of northeast Mississippi and other parts of West Tennessee well into the early morning hours. I think I finally got out of the weather office around 2:15 this morning. Back at it again tonight. We've got a mostly clear sky in Memphis. It is 78. We hit 84 degrees today. That 9/100 of an inch of rain was from right around midnight to around 1 a.m. And the south wind is in place around the area. So I'll show you what's going on. First alert Doppler radar showing a few downpours that came on through. There's a little bit of activity moving through the Missouri boot heel. A mostly clear sky right now, but notice all those clouds back to the west. Those are going to be moving in our direction. Now, one of the things you notice as well, we got clouds coming in from the west, and then Lydian, check those storms lifting to the north. Can you see that right there around northeast Arkansas? So we got a couple of different air masses working, or a couple of little flows of air in the Mid-South. At the surface, we've got a significant southerly flow, but aloft the flow is from the west. So that's going to push those clouds in from storms back to the west, while at the surface, any precipitation that may develop will be pushed to the north. So a bit of a complex pattern in place. A little muggy out there too. As a matter of fact, I had to run to the drugstore this evening for a quick bit, and it was humid out there, and you can really feel it when you step outside. But that's the cloud cover we got working here. Let me show you the big picture, because we've got big storms that are working back to the west. Check this out. Tornado watches from Iowa into eastern Nebraska, Kansas, and into central Oklahoma. We have a high risk of severe weather in that area tonight. Already numerous severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings, especially into parts of Kansas, Got a little tornado warning there just to the southwest of Omaha, Nebraska. We're keeping a close eye on Oklahoma City as a strong line of storms making its way into that area and again producing some severe storms, very heavy rainfall with this. And you can see a couple of well-defined tornadic areas there, one just to the east of Enid, another well to the west of Oklahoma City, I should say, but we're going to watch that closely. As I mentioned, there is a high risk of severe weather from southeastern Kansas through central Oklahoma tonight. We see moderate, enhanced, slight, all levels of severe weather in the plains. A little closer to home here in the Mid-South, we've got a marginal risk. This is the lowest of the 5 threat levels. But with all the energy in the atmosphere, we've got a lot of moisture. We have the daytime heating today. Anything that develops will have the potential to produce some heavy downpours, a lot of lightning, and maybe even some small hail. Thus the 1 on a scale of 1 to 5, the marginal risk here. Now tomorrow, a marginal risk will remain, but we'll see a slight risk just to our north, right around the Missouri boot heel, northwest Tennessee, but an enhanced risk for the upper Midwest and into the Ohio Valley. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on that. And then Wednesday, look at this. The enhanced risk comes into play for a large swath of the Action News 5 coverage area. A slight risk to our southeast, but on Wednesday, no matter where you are in the Mid-South, there is the threat for strong to severe storms. And as a result, this is a 3 on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the greatest threat. So Wednesday evening, potential for heavy rain, damaging wind, large hail, and tornadoes will all come into play in the Mid-South. This will likely begin late in the evening and continue into the overnight hours. That makes Wednesday a first alert weather day. I want you to stay weather aware from now through Wednesday and into early Thursday. Call your friends, your neighbors, make sure they know Wednesday is a first alert weather day. Alert them to the potential for severe weather in the area. Make sure your family members know all of this as well. Let's get to it. Let me show you what we're expecting here. So Wednesday, first alert weather day. Locally heavy rain and damaging wind gusts. We could see gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour with this. There's a medium threat with this and really a medium to high threat. But there's also a high threat of large hail. Lydian, we saw storms over the weekend producing hail, golf ball size hail back in the plains. We can experience large hail here. It would not surprise me if we saw golf ball, the tennis ball size hail as a result. Now the tornado threat, right now it seems low. I'm more concerned about the wind and the hail, but the potential for tornadoes not minimal. It is low, but we can't rule out the possibility of a few tornadoes coming through. Let's check out the Wednesday futurecast, because in the early morning hours, we may find a few strong or a few stray showers in the area. Now also, let me say this as we begin. This is a high resolution forecast model. It is the latest graph model. It is likely going to modify or change as we get a little closer to the date. So for the next, I would imagine we'll see some sort of adjustment with each model run of this forecast model. So right now what I'm doing is just kind of giving you a general idea of what to expect. But I think this model, of all the high-res models that are within range for this system, has a pretty good depiction of what to expect. So let's get back to it. So right around 5 a.m., maybe a few stray showers in the area Wednesday morning. Then as we get to around 8 o'clock, should eject out. But did you notice in that how it just starts off as a few stray showers, but then kind of rapidly advances and intensifies as it moves to the north and east, especially around the Tennessee River, those areas in yellow, orange, red, that's where we could find the heavier downpours and the potential for stronger storms. Now, a little bit of a lull in the afternoon, and this model also showing an ample amount of sunshine coming into play. That is not a good thing. If we get an ample amount of sun, that is going to increase the instability, the surface heating, and that could lead to the potential for even stronger storms to move into the area. So seeing that sunshine, not necessarily a good thing. By 6 in the evening, looks like mainly clouds in the area, but then right around 9:30, 10 o'clock, I think we're going to see a few stray showers developing from our west-northwest. But by midnight, that cold front that's going to be driving all of this should start to enter the area. And along that front, we'll likely see some isolated to widely scattered showers and storms develop. But remember, they're coming into a highly charged environment. So anything that develops can develop very, very rapidly. By the way, you may have noticed Nashville there on the right side of the screen. Yeah, they're in the ballpark and in the bullseye as well. But look from midnight to 2 a.m. Lydian, the real issue with this is it's going to come through in the middle of the night when a lot of people are sleeping. So that is why I want everybody to have a method to get watches and warnings, whether it be a weather radio, First Alert weather app. You're going to want multiple ways to get warnings for the potential, or should those be issued in the late and overnight hours. So right around 2 a.m., across much of the Mid-South, we could find heavy rain and thunderstorm activity. And along that leading edge there, that's where we could see the isolated tornadoes popping up as well. By 3:30, 4 a.m., still working its way through the area into early Thursday morning. By about 5:30 or 6, most of it pushes out of here. And I think as we get to around 7 a.m., it should be out of the area. But late Wednesday, early Thursday, that's when we're looking at the greatest threat for our severe storms. And check out the potential rainfall. We could see anywhere from an inch to close to 3.5 inches over parts of the Mid-South. I was looking at one forecast model, the GFS forecast model, indicating about 4.5 inches of rain for parts of the area. This is the European forecast solution. I think it's got a pretty good handle on it. It's a bit on the conservative side because I do think it's going to move through rather quickly. So the faster it moves, the less you get. But some of these downpours could be torrential, and that would increase the threat for flash flooding late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. Now, severe weather preps. I want you to download the Action News 5 First Alert weather app. Get the app, get the app. I always say get the app. That's a great method to get warnings. Plus, you're going to be getting updates leading up to this from the First Alert weather team. And you'll also have hour-by-hour forecasts for your specific location. If you have a weather radio, and I hope everybody does, because you need that second method to get warnings. We can't always just rely on our phones or sirens. You know, houses today are built so airtight, it's tough to hear a siren outside should they be sounding with tornado warnings. So a weather radio is a wonderful thing to have. If you don't have one, you can find them at most convenience and drugstores in the area. But if you do have one, make sure it's got fresh batteries, make sure it is plugged in, and make sure it is turned on with the volume up. I heard from a lady last severe weather threat, or the last round of severe weather that came through. She said, Ron, my weather radio did not work. And so we walked through a little troubleshooting and then realized, oh, it did work, the volume was down. So she didn't hear anything. But make sure the volume is up, make sure it's on, and the batteries for the weather radio are there in the event that you lose power. So yeah, it plugs into the wall, but the batteries are that backup in the event of power goes out. You still have some method to get information, weather information, and warnings. So it's a great tool to have. And the combination of the First Alert weather app and a weather radio, that's a beautiful thing in the severe weather season. So with that, also take some time to secure any loose outdoor items. We could see 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, possibly higher. So every time this happens, we see a trampoline end up in the next door neighbor's yard or down the street or wherever. Yep. This can also
we've seen pictures.
Yes, we have. So if you have umbrellas, outdoor umbrellas, things like that, just make sure it is secure. And review your safety plan with your family. Take some time tonight, tomorrow. Sit everybody down and say, hey, if a tornado warning's issued and we're having to hunker down, where do you go? Where's the safest place in your home? If your home, heaven forbid, gets hit by a tornado, Where's the rally point in the neighborhood? Where is everyone going to gather? Where do you want to make sure everybody goes to? And make sure that everybody has some sort of little go bag of sorts that may have a flashlight, batteries. You want to throw maybe a portable radio or something like that in there. Just items that you may need while you're hunkered down should any warnings be issued. And of course, we encourage you to monitor all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other places that we are going to be leading up and through that for updates. So we will have those for you. Now again, a look outside, it's lovely. It just feels a little muggy out there, but it is a nice dry night. Over the next 12 hours, I think our rain chances are minimal for the most part, but there is about a 30% chance that comes into play at 7 in the morning. Let's check this out, because I think from now until about midnight, we ought to be in pretty good shape. But those storms back in the plains are going to be driving clouds in the area, so we should become mostly cloudy. It's also going to be throwing the remnants of the storms that are working through that area right now and pushing them in our direction. And notice that line right around 6 a.m., Lydia, and that could be bearing down in northeast Arkansas, Missouri Boot Heel. In that line, we could also see the potential for heavy rain, hail, and gusty wind along that leading edge. So I want you to be weather aware early morning, especially if you're along the north of the 40 corridor in northeast Arkansas. Folks in northwest Tennessee, really from Memphis all the way to Dyersburg, just make sure, again, you are aware in the event of any warnings being issued in the early morning hours. Maybe a couple of stray showers to our south by 9. But we will see a relatively dry day tomorrow for the most part. However, if any isolated storms do develop during the afternoon, Futurecast not showing anything there, we're still going to have a considerable amount of heat. We're going to have a good amount of instability, and that will allow anything that may develop to intensify very rapidly. So I want you to stay weather aware throughout the day tomorrow. Right now, it looks like the early morning hours are going to be the better chance for rain. Now, that is, again, Tuesday. So the chance of rain tomorrow, 30% chance from 8 until about 11. Rain chances drop to 20% from noon until 6. And there's a 30% chance at 7 and 8. But again, did you notice there was really not much showing up on the Futurecast model? However, taking a look at the gridded data and the potential for something to develop, there's still that chance. It's low, but there is still a chance. So stay weather aware tomorrow. I think it's going to be warm and muggy, windy as well. We'll have a southwest wind, about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Some isolated storms possible. Again, 84 the high. And the overall rain chance, we'll say 30%. Look, once we get past Wednesday and really early Thursday morning, we're in great shape. As a matter of fact, we're looking at dry conditions Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We are in wonderful shape, and Lydian, that's going to lead to a wonderful weekend. As a matter of fact, I expect a mostly sunny sky both Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be nice and mild both days, highs in the mid-70s. So there's a little something to help you get through the week, and now start planning your weekend to get outdoors. We'll have a northwest wind on Saturday, a west wind on Sunday. And there we go. There's the old Futurecast. I'm not even sure what that was showing, but I think I did say, and I think that's going to have to play all the way through before it finally goes away. So there we go. So look, checking out the 7-day temperature trend, the average this time of year, 79, mid-80s Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday, again, a first alert weather day. And then after Thursday, we're mid to upper 70s for the end of the week and into the beginning of next week. But in the meantime, get the app. Get the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. I want everybody to have it. It's free for Apple and Android products. You'll find it in your app store. Go in there and search First Alert. Download it. Get it. We've got weather coming. So I want you to be well aware and prepared. So with that said, Lydia, do we have any questions?
Do we have any questions? We have quite a bit of viewers right now.
That's what I thought. So our Facebook friends, you can enter, if you're watching on Facebook, you can enter in the comments questions. I don't think we have the ability to do that on our YouTube feeds just yet. But On Facebook, you can do so. So what do we got? Anybody?
So Brady wants to know if the enhanced risk will be upgraded.
It is quite possible. As a matter of fact, Patrick Ellis and I were talking about that in the early morning hours today. The potential, and I think Storm Prediction Center making that enhanced area such a wide swath area that they're leaving themselves a little room to maybe hone into the sweet spot. Now, I think that sweet spot may be just to our north, but at the same time, I think no matter where we are, there's going to be in the mid-south, there is a decent chance for some severe weather, but I would not rule out a moderate. I don't think we'll see a high risk anywhere in the area, but a moderate risk for Wednesday is possible. Anything else?
I don't see anything else that we haven't already covered.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Thanks everybody for joining us on our Facebook page. It's good to have you along, and thank you for being our Facebook friend. She's the one who maintains all of it. I don't do anything on there.
And feel free to keep dropping comments, and even when we're finished, we'll go back and look over those as well. So.
Hey, you gathered up some pretty good news stories. We covered the flooding that was taking place. T. Wood was on top of that today.
Yes, and he also spoke with a few residents who are without power. So yeah, since last night with all the storms, people have been without power.
I think I heard him say that power outage, and it was kind of confined to, I believe, the Fraser area. It was due to downed trees. And that may have been more by a flooding issue.
I have a picture down here of one.
Yeah, look at that. Look what the trees can do.
You can see it's all tangled in these power lines right here.
Yeah, and when that happens, that's it. You're going to lose power. So look, here's another lesson too. When the crews come around to trim the trees around the power lines, don't shut them out. Let them in. Let them get to your backyard or wherever they need to be and cut the trees. And I know, look, I hate it too. They cut my trees and they come through, and their main goal is to make sure there is no obstruction for those power lines. But, yeah, I hate the way my tree looks after. But I will tell you that I would much rather have power than the tree.
Yes.
So there's that. Although I haven't brought myself to cut the tree down completely, I want to let it grow and live as much as it can. So there you go. There you have that.
Yeah, MLGW said that the downed trees were responsible for the majority of the outages. And I have the outage map pulled up right here. Right now, just under 3,000 people are still affected.
This is now? So we've got a power outage near Bartlett? That's wild. 35 outages, 2,900 customers.
Yes.
MLGW customers impacted by that.
Yes.
All right. Good deal there. What else you got for us? It's been a big news day of sorts,
there's been lots of stuff happening today. But the one that I think is kind of funny, the Riverbeat Music Festival. Did you go, by the way?
No, I did not. I had a very busy weekend. I wanted to go. I could not get there. And, you know, Saturday was Kentucky Derby. So for me, that's kind of a big day. I love watching that. It was a day of watching NBC and just the hats, the suits, and the ponies running. I love that.
Of course. I saw some videos of the attire people wore. It's fun to see everybody dressed up. But anyways.
And the one day of the year I have a mint julep.
Oh, yes.
But the Music Fest, there was a little bit of controversy. Or not Music Fest, but the Riverbeat Festival. A little controversy.
Yes, so, you know, they had a 3-day weekend festival, and they posted pictures on their official social media accounts, and plenty of people, you know, took a close look at one of the photos that is, you know, it's just a photo of the crowds with the stage. But some of the people in that crowd looked a little fishy. In fact,
maybe AI enhanced?
It looked like someone had like selected the people in the crowd and then duplicated them to fill bald spots. So there were several people that it was like clear it was like the same person pasted over and over and over again, or the same group pasted over and over again. And they were small enough to where it wasn't the most obvious, but once someone pointed it out, everyone was like, yeah, something was definitely altered. So we reached out to Riverbeat officials, and they said, we don't believe any of our photos have been altered. Let us look into this. And not too long after, they sent a statement, and I can read it to you right here.
Yeah, what do they say?
It said, "It has come to our attention that one of our photographers altered a single image of the crowd at this weekend's River Beat Festival."
Just one image?
Just one picture.
Is that what they're telling us?
That's what they say.
Is that what they're admitting to?
And, I mean, I haven't seen anything else that looked fishy, but that's what they say.
That's good.
They said, "We've been transparent about our numbers and we're very pleased with the turnout of 30,000 fans to our inaugural weekend. We had no prior knowledge that this photographer altered any of the images until it was brought to our attention. We will not be working with him going forward, and the altered images are being removed from all our social media channels."
And they did. They scrubbed that quick, didn't they?
Yes. And we did not get permission to use the photo, and that's why we're not showing it. But they can be found online pretty easily. But
he didn't get permission to double it up either.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the wild one. And you know, I feel sympathy for them because you know when you hire these photographers and they go over the raw images and you don't know what they're gonna do. And
right.
So, but yeah, pretty
Whoopsie.
wild. Whoopsie.
Oh, I was so sad. I was disappointed though. But for the most part, the festival had great weather overall. You know, we were a little concerned about Friday.
Really
that worked
lucky.
out well. Most of Saturday was a great day, and then Sunday there was the rain in the middle of the day. We had a pretty good band of storms that came through. They delay it, went well, and then right at the end, that next round came up. Right around 10 o'clock, there was a line of storms at the Mississippi River last night, and I mean, it was putting out some lightning. And whenever there is a festival or an outdoor event, they usually delay the event itself and ask everybody to seek shelter, especially if lightning is within 8 to 10 miles. And that was certainly the case last night. Unfortunately, Jelly Roll could not complete his set.
Oh no, I didn't even know that.
Right? They closed the park. They evacuated it. I will tell you, on our Best Care Home Services camera, we're looking towards downtown. I saw fireworks last night. It was really kind of cool because there were flashes of lightning and fireworks going off. So I think they had fireworks every night, which was an awesome thing to do with the festival. But they had that every night. But Sunday night, even though they closed the park and had to cancel everything early, I think they still went ahead and let the fireworks go. It's like, we got them, might as well shoot them, right? So they did. It was kind of a cool sight last night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Kelly Cook and I were watching that from the studio. It was kind of very cool.
How neat. Did you take any video?
No. I was in the studio. We were watching. It was on a camera we just had a monitor that we were watching it from.
Next time.
It's a cool thing about working at a TV station. We get cameras everywhere.
That's true.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. What else you got for us?
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about tonight's top story about Wanda Halbert.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one. That is a big one.
So we already know that Hamilton County, their district attorney, is handling the investigation of Wanda Halbert, and this has been going on for a couple months now. Well, he filed a petition to remove her from office.
Wow.
And this is the latest development. And that's a pretty serious, to file,
petition for removal.
It is
that's
the
big.
ouster petition.
Yeah, you've got to, there's a trial that takes place as a result of this. So formal proceedings now underway. And, clerk's office has had its share of issues with accounting issues, with just being able to get long lines, closing locations, opening new locations. It's been something else. So other parts of our state government have now stepped in, and this is the next step. So Joe Birch is going to have more on that tonight. Joy Redmond has the night off, but Joe's going to be there. Doc Holliday is going to be along with sports, showboats. Poor showboats.
Oh, yes.
They lost Saturday.
They had a tough weekend.
They did. What is it, 4 or 5 games? Where's Doc? Doc's not over there. Is he over there? No. I think they've lost 5 in a row. It's tough. But it's okay. Still got to support him anyway. Yes. Did I cut you off? Did you have another story? You did,
I think
didn't
that's
you?
all we have time for tonight,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yep. Oh, she's got to get back to her work.
Yes.
So do I. We forget we work sometimes. So anyway, look, again, let me just recap. We've got a first alert weather day on Wednesday. Stay weather aware. Make sure your family, your friends, everybody knows about it. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings in the event they're issued. It will likely be a late Wednesday into early Thursday morning event, so we're going to be watching it closely. As of course, as we get new info, we will post it on the air, on the web, on the First Alert Weather app. In the meantime, I encourage you all to join us for Action News 5 at 10 tonight. We've got some good stuff for you, and we encourage you to continue to follow us on all of the Action News 5 apps on Amazon TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku.
Yes.
Finally got it down. And YouTube, and Facebook, everywhere. Look, I'm Ron Childers. Lydian Coombs, you are the best. Thank you so much.
Thank
make
you,
all
Ron.
this happen. She does. She makes it all happen.
And I don't know anything about weather, so I'm glad you're here.
There are those who say I don't either. So, hey, what do? Have a great night, and we'll do it again tomorrow night.
Yes.
Have a good one.
You too.